here we are for a little demo of what I've built on Grist today. So this is a translation file, as some translators might be used to see. The idea of this file is that you will have a translation key which corresponds to a place in the app where text would be displayed. So the text can be displayed in different languages depending on the settings of the app. And anything you would write in French here would then be showed in the app in French, with usually fallback to default language excuse me, in American English here. So let's see how it works. Translator will translate this file, send it to the developer. The developer will update the application, build the application, and put the application in production before the translator can actually see the results of its translation here. But as you see, I'm currently able to see this key here, and I will be able, if I press, as you see here, Command and click, I will be able to select the record and the actual translation key that correspond to this translation where it is displayed in the app, and I will be able to write the proper translation here in French. So this would be vous traduisez actuellement pour la locale, and I can use a value here, local. And as you see now, the text is updated. So that's a normal process for a translator, but the thing I wanted to build here is a widget that actually lets you see what you're translating and understand the context of translation to make sure the translation is accurate. That's a common issue, especially if you're using tools like Excel to translate your apps. So Excel is not ideal. There are fully integrated solutions like Crowdin or Localize or Togi, Weblate, a lot of localization management tools that you could use to do so. But for some reason, they are not yet standards. Of course, so many people can already use them. They are great. I wish you would use them and don't need that. But if you're still used to this process of translating a CSV file and sending back to the developer, this is another layer you can easily add to understand the translations you're providing to the developer. So of course, the developer will have to install a little SDK here to make it work. This one is pretty simple demonstration that I made here to showcase the how to use Grist for translators. And then I will be able to, of course, download CSV or XLX, send it back to the developer, and it will just work. So how do I do that? I'll come here, create a page, use the translations data. So all these pages use the same data in the end. And here I have a page inside of which I have a widget for my translations here. I want to translate for Brazilian Portuguese, so let's just do that. Let's hide anything that is not English or Brazilian Portuguese. Voila. And then I want to add the widget. So I would just quickly come here and take the widget URL. Then I can add the widget here. So let's add widget to the page, custom widget, select the translation, link the translations, and now I can write my widget here. I make sure to add Brazilian Portuguese here. I confirm. And then my widget will show up here. It's fully empty because it doesn't have access to any data yet. So for some reason it has access to this one though. So let's hide the full access document. And here we are, we have everything translated now. Now we can click, you see different stuff, but it will not work here. The reason for that is that we need to make sure everything is linked properly. So here this one seems to be linked, but this one is not. So I would now link. I think it's done. Yes. And here we are, and we can now translate in Brazilian Portuguese if you want. So I'm not sure how to translate this, but I believe something like Podemos. Okay, no, I don't know how to speak Portuguese so well yet. But let's just quickly show an example. And let's write ta ta ta. And now the ta 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 would show here, which is not great. So we can just remove ta ta ta. And it's back to the default language in English. And that's pretty much how it works. So I hope you enjoyed this widget. As I wrote here, you can contact me if you need anything like that, and I will be able to help you and your developers to make it possible to visualize the same way in Grist and provide translations to you. I believe it would be very good for you to leave Excel if you're in the translation and industry and use this instead, because you can still export Excel data anyway, so you will still be able to work with your customers or whoever you are working with, but you would be able, for some specific customers who are willing to help you a bit more and provide a more integrated translation flow, you will be able to onboard them on your tools as well without the need to switch from a tool to another tool depending on who you're working for. So Grist is probably a best option for you if you prefer to work with Excel, or if you just don't have the opportunity to choose another way to translate your documents. Hope you like it, and see you later for another demo, I hope.